let's talk about Kurt Zouma. The deal is done. We're all happy about that. Well, I hope we're all happy about that. That's for sure. Bit protracted, bit drawn out. I uploaded a video last night saying get it done. They got it done. Not because I uploaded the video. Probably not. They probably were going to do that anyway. I don't think I played any part in the proceedings at all. Listen, once again, please, just want to say thanks for everybody for signing up and subscribing to my pinball channel. Really, really appreciate it. Even if I haven't managed to reply yet, massively appreciate it. I've had a really busy weekend. It's going to make a really big difference to me, so thank you sincerely. On the Zouma front, I've been doing a little bit of research. I managed to spend a little part of my hangover this morning actually watching quite a lot of footage, some Premier League footage of Zouma, and I can really understand why David Moyes wants this guy. He seems to relish defending. He loves defending. He's one of the few players that I see sort of regularly celebrate winning a tackle. And that's great, because I think if you're a defender, you've got a tackle, winning a tackle's got to be like a goal, right? It's got to have like the same sort of sense of joy, the same sort of sense of having a massive impact on a game, which of course you do in the same way a striker scores a goal, goalkeeper denies a striker scoring a goal. So I thought that was really, really good as well. He seems to go in for an awful lot of slide tackles, which would normally worry me. He seems to time them very, very well. Unfortunately, nobody's put together a compilation, I don't think, of the amount of times he might have given away penalties or anything like that. If he has, I don't know. But he does do it very well. He certainly seems to enjoy doing it. He's going to bring a bit more pace to our back line as well, which is going to be, I think, really, really important. And I know I mentioned it perhaps in yesterday's video. It takes a lot of the pressure off Dawson, because Dawson was never meant to be, as a loan signing from Watford and then whatever we signed him for £2.5, £3 million. Dawson was really never meant to be our first choice centre half. I think he comes in, he does a wonderful job, but and he's really good, much better than he should be for that money. Let's put it that way. However, you don't want him to play 38 games, do you? Because there are going to be games where it's just not suited to him. And without, I'm not wishing to disrespect him, I think he's very good. He needs to be our reserve centre-back, or one of them. Doesn't mean he's not going to play plenty. There's lots of games to go around this season, isn't there? But you can absolutely understand why Moyes wants Zouma. His defending is very, very good, and that's really my point. There are a lot of defenders these days who obviously see themselves as attackers. He clearly doesn't. He just sees himself as a defender. Really presses his opponent, tries not to give him time to turn. If somebody does come in and run in behind him, he's got the pace to recover, and he seems to time his tackles, his stretch tackles, very, very well indeed. He's pretty damn dominant in the air as well. So this is going to be another string to our bow at set pieces. If Dawson's out of the team and Zouma comes in, it's the same sort of thing, isn't it? Let's be fair, they're both pretty dominant in the air anyway. So, but that's really a good thing. I'm interested to see how the partnership between himself and Ogbonna develops, and also just looking at the strengthening of the team as well. Ogbonna misses some games. He does miss a few games each season, so at least then you're looking at a partnership of Zouma and one other, rather than, I don't know, Dawson and Diop or something like that. It is an interesting one for Diop, actually. And I'll explain why. Because Issa Diop was the next big thing in French football as a centre-half. So we signed him for £23.5 million. So we've now gone and signed another French centre-half for £25 million. And I just wonder if Diop is going to fulfil his potential and become what we hoped he would be. That being said, I think it does create an interesting dynamic and interesting competition. So I understand it. Diop might have agreed to play for somebody else. I'm not entirely sure. It might be Morocco. I might have that wrong, but I think he may well have given up on playing for France one day, and in the same way that Masuaku did, for instance. With that in mind, there's still some ambition there, but I do think there's going to be, hopefully that brings out the competitive spirit in him, seeing Zouma, and possibly looking at Zouma and thinking, well, hold on, that should have been me. That should have been me there. Which should, in turn, hopefully improve his performances. Good player, though. Good, really pleased with what I've seen from Zouma. I don't think he's going to give it the old side Ben Rama or Jared Bowen and say, oh no, he needs to ease his way into the team or anything like that. I think you've got the international break with training and whatnot. Well, actually, there's not going to be doing that much training Zouma, is he? Because I think he's away with the France squad. I mean, and that's the measure and the calibre of the player that we've brought in. So I am pleased. David Moyes has got his top target and his first target, and that's massively important. We'll talk about other targets a lot over the next few days. You know, there's going to transfer windows upon us. It's here. You know, what is it? A couple of days left now, and so hopefully more signs are coming in. And this video will get old very, very quickly if I start talking about who's going to come in and who's not. So just on the Zouma front, really good news. But as you know, the first time we ever discussed Zouma on this channel, I did a little Google search, if you remember, and I found out what the questions were regarding Zouma. Now, I must say, we've got to just address a couple of these because we've got to answer them. The questions have improved ever so slightly. I'll pop them up there. There's one which is a little bit dodgy. Anyway, let's put it on there. It says, okay, first one, where is Chelsea player Zouma from? Well, the answer to that clearly is he's not a Chelsea player anymore. Second question, is Zouma still at Chelsea? No, he's not. He's at West Ham. How old is Kurt Zouma? Rather than how old Zouma, the English is getting better here, you notice. How old Kurt Zouma? Kurt Zouma, if I click down on this here, I'll tell you now, he's 26 years of age. 27th of October. Anyway, what is Zuma salary? This is better. What is Zuma salary? This is how we want it. As I understand it, Zuma salary is about £110,000 a week, I think. He's had a pay rise, but some look, there was a lot of there's a lot of conjecture over this. Some people say he was only on 65 grand a week at Chelsea. Some people said he was on 140 grand a week at Chelsea. He wasn't. As I understand it, he was on about 90 grand a week with all the bonuses put in at Chelsea, and he's now earning about 20 grand more than that. For some reason, they're asking, how tall is Christensen? We don't care. Why aren't we asking how tall is Kurt Zouma? I'll tell you, he's 1.9 metres tall. He's a big fella. This is what David Moyes wants in a defence. Big, quick, strong, and just an outright defender. I love this question. Where is Kurt Zouma now? Well, he's in France, but really, if it's a Chelsea fan asking that, he's at West Ham. This is great. Is Kurt Zouma African? No. He's French. Who is typing this stuff in? Because these questions are coming up. These are the most asked questions about any player. And I do find it brilliant that I don't know, whatever it is, the sixth most asked question or whatever it is about Kurt Zouma is actually about somebody else in Christensen. Now we get to the nitty gritty. What height is Zouma? We know this. It's 1.9 metres. But I just find it interesting that they're inquiring in the Zouma search. The Zouma search index, which is what you got. How tall is Christensen? Is more asked than how tall Zouma is in the Zouma search. How much did Chelsea pay for Kurt Zouma? I don't know this. Did they really? 1.44 million euros. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, they've made a bit. And then you've got, sorry, back here. How old is Mason Mount? What age, Jorginho? We don't care about this stuff. They're all Chelsea players. Kurt Zouma now is a West Ham player. Absolutely delighted with this. Good news for the club. Gives a little shot in the arm. I think because I'm away at the moment, I've not seen any of the reaction from the Crystal Palace game. I'm guessing people aren't happy. The more I think back to it as well, I feel Antonio. So I know I digress a bit here. Antonio should have bent that ball into, it was to Ben Rama, wasn't it, near the end. He waited for too long and the play compressed, and then just they were too close to the goalkeeper. That ball should have gone around. I know I don't want to overly criticise Antonio because he's been brilliant. He's arguably our best player at the moment. But if he'd have just played that ball a little bit earlier, we could have won that game. Bad game management yesterday. Bad game management. Hopefully Zouma comes in and he'll sort that out.